This is Sean with Gate City Foundation Drainage. We are on a job in Greensboro today, and what's happening here is the basement's flooding. And so we've got a lot of water coming into the basement and literally flooding the basement. So they've got some existing pipes in here. I wanted you to take a look. This pipe doesn't really go anywhere. It comes out at a higher level right here. And so that's obviously not draining properly. And so what we're going to do is we're going to try to we're going to cut the gutter downspout up a little bit higher and try to get a pipe across here. So this house has got some beautiful landscaping in it. The homeowner is much more worried about the basement flooding than the landscaping. So he's going to fix any landscaping that we disturb. Here's another pipe. Same thing is going on here. This corrugated pipe is all cracked and corroded, and they've got it going along the foundation right here. And so if you go into the basement, he said most of the water is coming in from this wall over here, and there's also water coming in along this wall too. But if we go up here, we find a tremendous amount of water coming off this roof and going into this pipe. And this pipe, he doesn't like it. First of all, it's got cracks in it, and it goes directly underneath the deck, and so that's where that water's coming from. So instead of trying to figure out a drainage pipe to go all the way around and somehow go somewhere down there, we went ahead and repositioned the downspout. And so you can see it sprinkled for a little bit, but we repositioned the downspout. My gutter guy is very good, and you can see just from looking at right here, you can see all the water that's coming off of there, just that little tiny drip. And so we just, in a very simplistic way, moved that downspout from draining that way to draining onto the driveway and down. So that's our plan for this job, to correct this flooding basement. He's already spent a bunch of time and energy trying to waterproof the inside of the basement, and now we're going to go ahead and finish things off for him by diverting the water outside. We just dug up a little slimy salamander. These are called slimy salamanders because when you handle them or when you irritate them, they emit a really sticky, slimy paste that gets all over your hands and sticks to everything. So we'll just reposition him over here somewhere. We were over here exposing some of this corrugated pipe, and I wanted to show you there's a crack right there, and that pipe is just full of mud. So we've talked about this before, why this pipe is an inferior product. If you're going to go through all the trouble to dig a trench, you might as well put a quality pipe in there instead of a cheap pipe. So that's what we're here doing today. Oh yeah, look at all that mud in there. So that's what we're here solving. That's why you don't use corrugated pipe. As if you didn't already know. It was tempting to cut these roots and lay our pipe in there to make it a little bit easier. But I want to try and avoid damaging these plants as much as possible. So instead of laying a big long piece of pipe in there, we're going to piece it together to try to slide it under those roots. In order to get a nice straight angle there, we had to use a fern co, and that gives us a custom fit right there, or a custom angle. Alright, we got this pipe in here and I wanted to show you really quickly. Even though it doesn't look like we have a whole lot of fall here, check it out. We got way more than a full bubble right there. We got almost a full bubble there. And it's just going on down the line. Got almost a full bubble there. And we're going to come out. We got to cut our pipe about right here, so give it a nice custom angle, and that water will be way far away from the house now in basement.
Because it's 6 inches below where this was, is the water level. I'm betting under a hard rain, it's just overflowing over the top of it, and it's dropping down right there.
Yep. Over here on this side, we're test fitting our pipe. We've got really good fall, which was a little bit surprising. I was worried about that. But we got this exposed, and I wanted to show you. Look at that standing water right in there. So this pipe is just holding water. And anytime it rains, it's just overflowing. You can see the green algae growing that Mike just pointed out, and his basement's flooding. So, like we always do, we're going to take this water and send it through our solid pipe and get it way away from over there.
Show where that's coming out at. Standing water there.
Yep, standing water.
No.
Nothing here. So obviously that pipe is just thrown in there and has no value to it, whatever. Here we are, just about finished up with this job. We caught this gutter, and this gutter again was a big problem with the flooding. We built up some bricks right here. We've got a full bubble right there of fall, and we were able to come up a little bit higher here because the pipe is covered up by the bushes. He's going to do something like maybe a rock step or something right here. He wasn't concerned about the pipe, he wanted the water figured out. So we've got great fall going across here. We've got more than a full bubble right there. And there wasn't really a good place to take it, so we just kind of ended it right here. We buried a block or a rock right there to help with the transition of that water coming out of there. But he wants to redo his little rock wall there, but we kind of put it back together so he doesn't have to redo it. Or whenever he gets a chance to, he can get it done. So this problem should be more than solved. Let's take a look up here.
You have to start spread over there?
Just wherever, yeah. We got all this put back together. So as best we could, looks pretty good. So this ground cover will all fill back in. He wasn't too worried about that either. And this outfall here, we buried a couple little pavers that he had. So that'll just kind of run along here. And out of the way, there's a storm sewer basin in there somewhere that he said, so the water has a place to go. All right, let's see how we did. Yep. And just like that, there it is. So that's water that's no longer a problem. Coming all the way out here. Want to do the other one, Mike? What do you think?
Okay.
Should be good.
I don't want to make too much of a mud. There you go.
Whoop.
Oh yes.
There we go.
Very fast.
That's what happens when you put the right fall on everything.
Yeah.
It's got nowhere to go except down.
Right.
And this looks like we're going to be in good shape there. There's no chance that it can go back this way.
Sir, I'm sure you will stack that stuff to your likings.
I will, yes.
We put a stone underneath it. You can see there's one stone underneath
Yeah.
it. We normally like to put one under it, and I just threw the rocks up there knowing that you said you were going to
Yes,
stack it.
I did the way I wanted, yeah.